Hey guys, what it is your girl Cadillac. Hi, I am Cadillac Dixon. I am the Draw My Light prison wife. I am the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Hiss your girl Cadillac. Okay, guys, so I'm coming through on December the 22nd. This is the 22nd day of Vlogmas. I'm just about done with this challenge. Like, girl, is about over with. Thank God, because vlogging is not easy, especially daily vlogging. So we are on the 22nd day. I do have a lot more vlogmases I needed to edit, maybe about 5 or 6 of them, but between work, it's just not going to happen. So it could be a possibility. That's why each day, like today, I just want to upload something for my Vlogmas day number 22nd, number 22. I attempted to upload a video of Vlogmas day number 21 yesterday. But what happened with that, I was doing in, actually I have a list, but I'm going to skip all the way to the bottom. So at the bottom of the list, I was going to talk about Marcello's petition, and it is at 1,163 signatures. I was at 862 or something. Like I said, I donate to my own petition whenever I get, a few extra dollars. So the way the petition works is just like anything else on the internet. They do not just show it for free, and it doesn't just get shown to everybody. Such as YouTube, a lot of people make videos. Basically, it's like creating a video just to throw in the trash because nobody's going to see it. The only way someone's going to see your video is if the algorithm picks it up and shows it to somebody. YouTube is like a big, huge ocean. Have you ever tried to find something that you lost in the ocean? Like, that's how it is going to be for people to find your girl. Now, things do get found in the ocean, but not everything gets found there. You know how much buried treasure there is in the sea. And I'm buried treasure. I have a lot in me. I have a lot of talents. I have a lot of, opinions that should be heard. I have a story that should be heard. But just as that buried treasure, it's not easy to find, and not many people find me. So a petition is the same way. Just because you create a petition, you're going to spend more time, unless it just takes off for those few lucky individuals that it does. They make a petition and whew, it just skyrocket. But your girl ain't never had good luck. It's just like the blues song. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck whatsoever. So I don't have good luck like that. So a petition that I make is going to have to be, I'm going to have to work it tooth and nail. So I actually donate whenever I get my extra little money. I donate to my own petition. And when I donate, which you can if you would like to, I can link the petition in the description box. But most likely, I will be the next person to donate to my own petition again. But what happens is when you donate through change.org, the donation has them show your petition to more people. So on a day-to-day basis, nobody's going to see your petition. Though it exists, it's not going to be there unless you share it. And people are very busy. That would be a full-time job, trying to share my petition, like constantly sharing it. And also the same thing, you don't have much reach on Facebook. Facebook, you can have, like, I think I have almost 1,000 friends, yet only like 5 to 10 people see my posts, which that's really sickening. Like, what's the point of Facebook if you're only going to have 5 to 10 friends that you actually correspond with daily? Like, see, it's a mind game. When you're posting, you think you're posting to the world. But if you know anything about the algorithm, you're not. because the only people that are really seeing your posts are maybe 5 to 10 people. So you're making all those posts for 5 to 10 people. When you look at it in that perspective, all the work that you're doing is for 5 to 10 people, then you understand why you don't get much engagement. Those 5 to 10 people probably are engaging, but it's not that much because not that many people see your content. So that's why it's always so challenging to do anything online. I miss the days of old where everything was done face to face. There's no algorithm in real life, like such as when I was rapping back in the time that I was rapping in the early 2000s. Baby, it wasn't no algorithm like that. Like I see you and I hand you in your hand my demo. You look at it, maybe you like my presentation, maybe you liked me, maybe you like my cover art, and you may listen to it. You may not. I had many people not even listen to my demo. I had people that threw it to the side. I had people that listened to it and loved it. But see, now the difference is I know it got to you. I presented it to you, I made it for you, and I know you got it. But see, dealing with an algorithm, you make it, you present it, but you may never see it, who I intended it for, because it may never get shown to them. So it makes it much harder. People think a lot of time because the internet is so convenient that it's so much easier. I feel like it's harder now. It's much harder to break through because now you're not just competing with your city, you're competing with a whole world. Now, maybe you were the best, like I say, I'm the hottest female rapper out Orlando. But now I'm not just competing with Orlando, I'm competing to be the hottest female rapper in the world. Is that possible? So I don't know. It makes it harder. So it gets into, but at 862 signatures, I donated to my petition, and now my petition, because they were saying once you get to 1,000, then it's more likely that your petition will be recommended. Now I've caught on to change.org. Y'all is not fooling nobody. When I was at 500, I think that was the first goal, to get to your first 500. It could have been 100. And then you tell me that once I get to that goal, it'll be more likely that people will see my petition. Okay, when I first created my petition, I didn't even expect to get, when I made it, maybe a day later, I spent days writing it, editing it. I can't type. So it took me almost literally, after writing, editing, it took me almost a day or so to type it. So I didn't just rush into this petition. I really figured through it and thought through it and did a whole process. So when I put the petition up, I had someone from change.org reach out to me and say that your petition is a very good petition. It has so much potential, and it does look like one of the petitions that could actually, take off. So she asked if she can work with me. I only had a few days. I think it was 2 to 3 days. This was last year. And she was saying, if you can get your petition to, she gave me a few pointers or whatever, and told me to do a few things. And I got, a few signatures or whatever. Every time I would do certain stuff that she told me to do, I would get signatures. Okay, so then she told me that if I can get to, I think it was my first 100, then she could give me another day or two of coaching, which I thought, because I had made a change petition for Marcello previously, and I got no more than 50 signatures, and it was out for years. It was out for years. So I really didn't think I can get to 100 signatures at all. That was just way beyond. Never thought that I would get that far. So when she gave me the challenge, somehow I accomplished it. Like I was like pleading to people, please, please just help us get to this goal. I had someone from the company contact me. They're going to actually help us out. Please, if we can get to this goal. And it was so amazing. I seen people from high school. Like, you remember how I said I was bullied? So I was the outcast. I was the quiet one. I seen people in high school that we never talked because I was the person you can look past, or you can, I didn't, it was almost like I didn't really exist, but I did. I existed, but just not to everyone else. But they actually reached out and started helping, and it was so touching because I don't know, I just always felt like nobody really, cared about, not even liked me, not even noticed me. But to actually care about me, I didn't think anybody cared about me. So when I did reach that 100, signatures milestone, that was amazing. Like, that blew my freaking mind. Okay, so I'm thinking it's going to take off at 100 if I can reach 100. They moved it up to 500. So the lady, the coach, she was like, she can't help anymore because they only give you a few days. And she went beyond because she really believed in my petition. So once I reached 500 signatures, then they said it'd be more likely that my petition would be show up and recommended. See, now if my petition could show up and recommended, it probably could get more signatures. The more people see it, the more people would sign it. You know what I'm saying? So I get to 500. All of a sudden, when I get to 500, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be recommended. No, they upped it. They said if you can get to 700. Okay, so my petition gets to 700. Then once I got to 700, it said if you can get to 1,000, then your petition would more likely. This time it didn't say show up and recommend it. It said it would be more likely to get. Oh yeah, it did say show up and recommend it. But now it's telling me that I surpassed 1,000. Never would have thought I would get to 1,000. So if you divide, my first petition got 50 signatures. How many more times did the second one get? 50 goes into 1,000. How many times? Okay, so I surpassed 1,000 and got to 1,163. Yep, signatures. And guess what it says? It says if you can get to 1,500, then it's more likely that your petition would gain local news press. Y'all keep raising that bar, girl. Like, when am I going to get this recommendation? But anyways, to celebrate, I wanted to share somebody else's petition. There's a prison wife that I have been seeing her post for a while. It wasn't until I didn't take notice, which I probably had been seeing her post, but like I say, how people tune me out, I probably was tuning her out. Everybody's on their linear trip, their linear voyage, their linear battle. So you're one track minded. You're fighting for your issue. I'm fighting for my issue. So upon me fighting for my issue, I probably have blocked out other people fighting. But I remember being in this one group, and I probably seen her in post many, many times. But in this group, she was pleading out. I don't remember her exact post, but it was something of the sort. Oh, she made a post about if anybody else's loved one was wrongfully convicted. And is there anything that you can do about it? And I wanted to answer this question truthfully. I didn't really want to be negative, but a lot of times reality is negative. I'm sorry. So I wanted to tell the truth. And I named all the stuff I've done. I've said I've had petitions. I've started a GoFundMe. I reached out to NAACP. I reached out to the ACLU. I have gotten Marcello, my husband's story, into Al Sharpton's hands, into Tom Joyner's hands, into Steve Harvey's hands, into J. Anthony Brown's hands, into what's the man name? I always forget his name. Ricky Smiley's hands, into umpteenth other famous people's hands. I have gotten Marcello's story in the newspaper. I've done so many things. I have rapped about Marcello's story. I have done poetry about his story. I have made children books about the effects between the relationship between our daughter and her father while he was incarcerated. I made a children's book about it. I have a family prison magazine so that attempts that the next person coming down this road doesn't have to go through the barriers I have hit trying to break a wrongful conviction story. I have so much, more than you can even think of. And we tried to fight it through court. He has filed for appeal. He has filed for habeas corpus. He has did a 3.850. He has what have we not done? That's what you got to tell me. What have we not done? Because I've covered almost every base. And I started thinking, well, maybe I got to try it a second time. So this is my second change.org petition. This is my second time trying to do YouTube. This is my second time doing many other things because they didn't work the first time. So I was just honest, and I'm like, and he's still just as wrongfully convicted 20 years later. Like, nothing has changed. He hasn't given not a day back, let alone a year, a sentence. There's a lot of people that you meet during visitation, and they'll tell you how their loved one had all this outrageous time, but they were able to give it back, like give back a portion of it, and now they have a reduced sentence. But he hasn't given back not a day. Not a day. I've looked for pro bono lawyers. I've looked for paid lawyers. I have done so much. I have covered so much ground. And he is still just as wrongfully convicted as the day they sent him away. I believe he was sent off to prison June the 3rd, 2 days before my birthday, my 21st birthday, 2 days before it. June the 3rd, 2002. Just as wrongfully convicted from June the 3rd, 2002. Well, in prison because he went to court in April, the week before Easter. So he's just as wrongfully convicted as he was that week before Easter 2002 in the current day 2021. Nothing has changed with the sentence. So I said, I don't really want to discourage you though, because your story is not my story. You may have better luck than me, but I'm just telling you all the things that I have done and gotten nowhere. But I say you may have better luck if your loved one has family, because to break this story, you need more than one individual. You need a team. I have never been able to get a team. Just like even with the music, I go back and forth to the music. You know, the most successful rappers were the ones that had the street teams that had the promo teams, that had the people handing out their flyers and posters and handing out their CDs. Not me handing out my own CD by my darn self. The people that are more successful have a team, a loyal team that helps you cover more ground. So I'm like, if your husband does have a family or family members that can help spread the word on their social medias, possibly you may not have hit all the roadblocks that I have hit, but see, I have just myself alone. So maybe that's why I didn't, make it, and you could. And that's when it was people on the post, and they was like, oh, I'm just going to be praying for you, and I hope it gets better, and this, and I wish it was something I can do. And I just posted, there's something you can do. Share her post. Go to her petition and sign her petition. There is things you can do. But you don't. You just give me hopeful wishes. They were just giving her hopeful wishes. For what? What is hopeful wishes going to do? What are you going to do with hopeful wishes? I said, everybody on this thread, please repost her comments. Share, look at her petition, look at it, read it, and if you feel compelled, sign it. That's how you're going to help her, giving her your hopes and wishes. And I see her crying out for help, and it looks like I'm looking in the mirror at myself. I see my struggle through her struggle. So, in honor of Marcello's petition reaching 1,000, I wanted to make a video about her loved one's petition, and with hopes that she can reach her goals with that as well. So I made it yesterday. I fell asleep in the chair. Like I edited. I can't never say that right. I told y'all that. I edited through it, but as I sat in the chair, I fell asleep. So the next thing I did was, I lay on a pallet on the floor. So I just got on the floor and it was over it. So I woke back up and I was like, oh, let me get back up. It had exported the video. I fell asleep while editing. I woke up, I finished editing, and then I fell asleep as it was exporting. I woke up again. By that time, that's when I got on the floor. So then I started trying to upload it to YouTube, and I had to put it out in the dining room where there's more Wi-Fi, because back up in this room, there's no freaking Wi-Fi. So I put it in there to upload. It said it was going to take 2 hours and 45 minutes to upload this video. So I'm thinking, okay, if I leave it out there while I sleep, by morning, it will be out. It didn't come out by morning because the computer went dead. So it canceled the upload. So all day at work, like I work at a theme park, so I got super 5G Wi-Fi, but my computer would not cut on. It was dead. And though I had charged it up this morning, it wouldn't cut on. Like, wow, it's like everything just don't want me to get this video out. Like, is you for real? Then I even came home. I was going to stay late at work to use the Wi-Fi to upload this video, which is yesterday's Vlogmas about her petition for her loved one. But when I was at work, as I charged it up, it wouldn't come on. Computer would not come on. So I'm like, okay, great. I'll just go home. Forget this. I get home, and the first thing I do is charge up the computer. It took a while before the computer cut on, and now it is still uploading. Let me check it now. I'm gonna tell you the time in just a minute. So it's just about 10:30 at night, and the video is only 36% uploaded. So even by tonight, I'm sure it's not gonna upload. And I'm like, This is a simple video. It's not that big of a file. Why is it giving me so much trouble? Like, that's so ridiculous. But I don't know. Sometimes it feels like you just can't do nothing without a bunch of trouble. Sometimes I just want to do things with ease. Just plan it, do it, and be done. But, you know, that's how it is. So, anyways, that's coming out. Okay, so now let's get to. I made these notes and never finished them. Okay, I have a comment in my journal that says, "It's like my struggle gives my art meaning." And I wanted to talk about the journey of me being a struggling artist. Like, struggling artist. You know, most artists never make it. That's just reality. And the thing about being an artist, it all the great artists like of yesteryear. And I remember my mother, when she took an art history class, she thought it was gonna be art, like art. She didn't know it was like learning about art. And she was so excited because I was her artist or whatever. And when you research the old, artists, and she said, "Kitty, you need to do some research. Like, why do all the great artists go blind? Like, is there something related to going blind and being an artist?" And then she also said, "Why do they go crazy? Like, there was some that one cut his ear off, one just went crazy. I don't know if he outed himself or not, but he just went crazy." And I'm going to tell you the reason behind it. Why artists, a lot of them are depressed, why a lot of them are, I don't know, an artist's life is a lonely life. Well, unless you're one of those few, very few artists that actually can live off of your talent and actually get what you're worth for, your abilities that many people cannot do. You have a gift. I have a gift. Not everybody can do what I do. But the reason it makes you so is because you have something that is so rare. You think that it is worth something. You think that there's worth behind what you do. And you know all the time and effort that you put into it. I'm also a handicapped artist. My hands don't work like regular hands. They barely move, they barely work. They're riddled with carpal tunnel, arthritis, and nerve damage. So if you look at some of my beautiful art pieces, you couldn't imagine a broken hand doing that. But I take all the strength, I gather all the strength I can to make art. And I pay for it afterward because this hand swells up, swells all the way up. And you think for all the time that you spent, people would recognize that and give you the amount that you ask for your painting, for your artwork. When in actuality, most people try to cheat you. Most people, they love to look at it, but they'll, "Oh, no, thanks." They don't have the money for it. Or they'll try to talk you down off your price and just give you hardly anything to where it's not even worth all the time that you spent making that art piece. Then also, it just feels like, for me, it's hard for me to separate myself from my art. I am my art. I'm my art. And when people don't accept my art, it feels like they don't accept me. If you don't appreciate my art, if you won't, I can't even beg you to look at my art. That's sad. It's like I'm begging you to look at me. And when I can't even beg you to look at it or like it or share it, it's a very depressing feeling because you feel as though, I guess the perfect saying is from 50, not 50 Cent, I'm sorry. What's his name? Eminem. My gift is my curse. My gifts are my curse. My gifts make me think that I should be this, and this, but I'm not. I'm that, and that. It makes you think you have something special. But if it was special, people would be paying attention to it, you know? So it's not as special as I think it is. I'm the one that thinks it's special. You don't think it's special. That's what torments an artist. And also, another thing is an artist wants to create. And most time when you're a struggling artist, you cannot live off of your artwork. So you have to work a 9 to 5 when all you really want to do is create art. So you're always the side hustler. You're always on the side trying to do what you really want your main focus to be. You're doing that on the side. So that's the reason a struggling artist goes through that. They don't feel accepted. And what's so sad is when those artists pass away, their art becomes appreciated. Just such as Nipsey Hussle. All these great things that people say about him, all the great things he was doing. Why didn't people support him in his life? You want to support him once he's gone? Why? You should have supported. I'm sure he reached out to many about the same projects he was doing while he was alive. And they brushed him off. Yeah, later for you. Oh, whatever I'm doing. Now, all of a sudden, you want to appreciate him as one of the greatest. Why wasn't he out when he was alive? He was out, which I knew of him. Many people was like, who is Nipsey Hussle? Who is Nipsey Hussle? But I'm a hip hop head. So, of course, I dig deep. I know who underground, unknown people are. But could you think where he could have been